We are back with the Stanley Parable. I'm going to see my bucket in a second. But first, I have to set the time. Wait, it said I could set it to my favorite time. 11 p.m. Sure. Confirm. 11 p.m., your favorite time of the day. Or could you simply not resist giving me the correct time again? That's not the correct time. After all, I know how much you enjoy setting the time correctly. Okay, now I'm curious of how accurate 11 is. Let's use another slider to find out. Very inaccurate, like here. It's like 3:20. You know, can I just say, regardless of the accuracy of the clock, I'm having a great time adjusting these settings. I feel like I'm learning more about you and how you like things to be set. It's good to collect data. I wish we had more sliders, but we have gone through all the sliders I have. Perhaps I can invent new sliders to gather new data on you. Shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, let me whip up a couple new ones. Should be ready the next time you boot up the game. Who is this person? We are back. I have my bucket. I'm ready to conquer the world. Okay, now what? I have a bucket. I've seen everything.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? There really should be an award if it isn't already.
Truly, the best bucket. There he is, Stanley, the boy.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know
cool.
it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but
yeah.
I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work.
Is it gonna work?
There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay.
I don't think it's gonna make
Are
the
you ready?
game.
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Ta-da! What am I looking at?
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right?
We're
It's
collectible.
sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
I'm not sure if that's better.
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own.
Yeah.
They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen.
Oh?
A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, this is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up.
We're gonna show a title screen here.
Go ahead. Take a look.
Okay. Oh. What? This is a cool title screen. Okay, we're playing the sequel now. Do I get the bucket?
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
What?
Stanley worked for a
the
company in a
balloons.
big
It's a
building
sequel.
where he was employee number 427.
Get well someday.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year.
Oh my god, no
And
weekends.
although others might have considered it soul-eating, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job.
Were we made for this job?
Stanley was happy.
Were we just created
And then
to
one
fill
day,
this
something very
role?
peculiar happened. Something that would
The
forever
Stanley Parable
change
too.
Stanley.
Okay.
Something he would never quite forget.
Oh, the
He
people
had
in the
been at his
office
desk for
disappeared.
nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had
Still
arrived
nothing.
on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give
Get
him
well
instructions,
someday.
call a meeting.
They all
or
died.
even
They all
say
need to get
hi.
well.
Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Why is
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Oh? Okay. The bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Be my Valentine? I hate Mondays.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay, we'll do it.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever.
It's a cold metal
Perhaps his
bucket.
boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Me and the bucket. Oh. To be rich, is it a crime? To commit crimes, isn't it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one.
You found one of them. One of the miniature
Okay.
Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well
Hell
done.
yeah.
You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried.
No.
So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these
Yeah, really
beautiful
take
figurines.
it all in. Soak up that Stanley figurine. Huh. Okay, who needs a reflection?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket.
Ah, yes, the bucket.
Even now, in his darkest of
Buckets were
hours, did the
nice.
bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos.
Oh, yeah.
It would be with him always.
My sweet
The
bucket.
bucket would. And he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's
Didn't notice
desk.
it.
Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer
I'm
luck.
so lucky.
Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket
The
guiding
bucket?
him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical
Oh,
explanation.
yeah. Sentient bucket. Oh.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini Stanleys?
Yeah.
Stanley figs. What about Stanlerines? Yes,
Stanlerines,
I think I like
yes.
that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Okay, cool. Damn. Me and the bucket. This elevator is moving very fast.
The elevator raced downward. plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will
Thank
be
you.
fine.
Oh my god. I repeat that to myself too, that the bucket is
Stanley
here.
and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
No.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Yeah. Well, I have my bucket.
The
It'll
door
be
behind
fine.
them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
No.
At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
This is normal. Here we are. Oh. Oh, we are going
As the
to
machine
be
whirred into
smooshed.
motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be.
Listen to
To be
him.
sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what
Accept it.
Stanley thought to
It's
himself.
fine.
And he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying
You
a
can say
bucket
he
everywhere.
kicked the bucket.
Farewell, Stanley.
Oh,
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator.
the narrator is being
As Stanley and
narrated.
the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed
What
violently
about
to death.
Stanley? Okay.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one
What?
stood above the rest. It was
That's
a
great.
glorious bucket to behold.
The bucket? Welcome you to the grand exhibit. What? You are standing in the precipice of knowledge. Much like the bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within a cavernous void. But through use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full of enrichments. Okay. Still office chairs. Are we in, like, heaven, or...
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will
that's
ever
more than
be in
25.
his short life?
Why am I being dissed? Okay. The bucket with two handles. It's too dangerous. Inferno bucket. No one can control a bucket. Distress bucket. Presented without commentary. Huh. Oh, yeah. Cave drawings. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged too many to be worthy of its treasure. Praise be the bucket.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one.
I don't
It
have
is
one.
man who should kneel before the bucket.
What? The hanging bucket. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between bucket and humanity. However clear our grasp of the bucket may be, there is yet more than it is always out of reach. This distance inevitably is for our own good. Whoop! What? Did I fly?
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong.
Me and you, or you or the bucket? Why are we back here?
Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
Well.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Figurine Finders Committee, today in the meeting room. Okay, we'll go to the meeting
Stanley
room.
lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
To the meeting room. Oh, there will be a reward for finding them all. We need more planks. Oh, okay, toilet, I got that. Under the stairs. Okay. Oh. Looks like 4 to 7. Gotta collect them all. This is some kind of game. There must be a point to this. A large room, lots of boxes. Okay. Stairs, something to do with the service and move. Okay, I know where both of those are. I mean, stop kidding yourselves. I want them so much. I want to go home. There will be cleaning of this wall required. Who are you? Baby BL. Lies. Okay, bottom text. Okay. None in the broom closet.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Yeah, but figure. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a
Like
small number in the
Stanlerines.
corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
No, not there. Okay, boss's office. Boxes, and then where the red and the blue door were. Okay. Let's finish this.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an
It's
indication of any human life.
2, 4,
Crushed
8,
by the weight
5.
of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light let Stanley guess the correct code by sheer luck?
Yeah.
Was it that the bucket knew all along?
Yeah, he's so
Was the
smart.
bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Bucket, my beloved. Let's go. Let's turn off the mind control facility. Me and you, Bucket. Can you mind control a bucket? Probably not. It doesn't have a mind. But it's implied to be sentient. But what would it do?
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Dun, 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 dun. Bam.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television
It's horrible.
screens.
It's horrible.
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
So many TVs. What could they be used for?
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like
2,
guinea pigs.
4, 7. Where is
Bucket
it?
had never seen anything like this,
Oh, no,
and it
don't
very
cry.
nearly
Don't
burst
cry,
into
my boy.
tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
There's my office. Huh. That's concerning. Wait, I want to see that one turn.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well?
That's what I was
Had
saying.
the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place?
I don't know.
These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
My feeble?
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world.
Me and the bucket,
At this point,
besties.
he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation.
Oh my God, I've
Controls
never
labeled
been
with
here
emotions.
before.
Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place.
Oh my
And as the
God.
cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world.
Yeah.
They high-fived in a really cool way.
Yeah.
The bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Will be good.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over?
Is it? Is it?
Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy.
Let's go.
Freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth.
No, no, no,
Both of them
no.
wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end.
Huh.
True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and... What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in
So
uncertainty.
close. Come on.
Until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave.
The building wants the button.
Even the
No!
facility itself
No.
recognized the
No.
incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms.
leave the
Not while
bucket
this
here?
building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room.
It's so dark.
But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad.
I think
Stanley
it
thought
is
to
really
himself.
that
As long as
bad.
I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be
No.
okay, won't I?
No.
Stanley thought. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Oh boy. Well.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, I'll take the...
The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
Okay. Me and this bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
No.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge
yes,
was simply the
employee
place to be.
lounge.
And here
Back
it
here.
was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps
Yeah,
it
it's
truly
beautiful.
was.
Love this room.
How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Okay, we're gone.
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Huh. No.
No.
said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Okay.
Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift
Wait,
all the
wait,
way to
wait.
the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley
Okay.
did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to
Can
him.
get there after.
It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk.
Yeah,
but
buckets
Stanley
can't
chose
talk.
not to think about this obvious fact.
Okay.
He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Whatever you want, bucket.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Sure. Phone?
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
I don't want to marry the bucket.
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and
then
telling you
why
to do
would you
things.
do
Buckets
that?
can't talk. It was a joke.
Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket.
Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must
It
have
wasn't
really
funny.
bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously.
bungled
Where did I
it.
mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker?
Oh my God.
Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it. But there isn't exactly an instructional
No.
video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait,
No.
yes, there is. It's sitting right here.
I
It's
don't
taking-
want to watch an instructional video again. No.
What is comedic timing? What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your
What?
political enemies?
What?
And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds?
Probably not, but
Thankfully,
you're
the
gonna try.
answer to all of these questions is yes.
Okay.
Let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit,
I don't know
with one of your
what that
arms
is,
raised straight
Fahrenheit.
upward at a 15-degree angle from your
What?
body. These are the optimal conditions for good
Optimal.
comedic
Yeah,
timing.
and a plant
To
in the
begin the
corner.
joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a
What?
brief synopsis of the joke,
That's not
including
brief.
the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time.
What?
With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor.
We begin the humor.
Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary.
That was aggressive.
When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest
No.
possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny."
I'm Dunny with
Let's
the
practice
funny.
screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
Okay. I'm Dunny with the funny. That's
Good.
how I'm gonna end
This
my videos
saying is a
from now
perfect
on.
example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy.
Thank you.
Finally, it's time to hand out
Ooh, a
surveys.
survey.
Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke
How
is the only way
funny
to grow
was
or
the
learn as a
joke?
comedian. An effective survey should be no less than 10
10
pages
pages?
long and
That's
should
3
include the same question
hands.
reprinted several times.
No.
Just to ensure the survey taker is
no,
actually
no.
paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random.
But he can do it
And that's all there is.
randomly
With
multiple
these strategies
times.
at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter
Christmas.
and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all.
Oh no.
Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp.
Excuse
After
you?
all, we're each of us needed on the front lines
What?
of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threaten our very existence, and to
here's the
very likely
political
die in a
thing.
hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble
What is
cause,
happening?
just as our children must do after us, and their children after them.
Please.
Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
What?
Hey, goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well,
Yeah.
no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery.
Oh, I can't
Come along,
wait.
let's head back.
Okay. I'm getting that figure.
I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket,
What?
you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of comedy.
The king
That's
of
what
comedy.
you'll call me. Thank goodness we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now.
The
Well, I wouldn't be
figure.
the king of comedy, that's for sure. The bucket spoke to Stanley.
The bucket spoke.
The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
It's weird to be going backwards through these rooms.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Is that just a glitch or?
What?
Oh,
We're
whoa!
back at the phone already? No. What's going on? There was supposed to be several rooms
Yeah, I
leading
remember a
up to
couple
this.
more rooms.
There was
It's
supposed
still
to be a
unplugged.
build-up to this point. A dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the
Oh
phone.
yes, that's a very funny
Now
scene.
the timing's completely off. The joke will never land. Well, not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the two
It
doors
doesn't.
room. What an egregious mistake. I made a fool of myself. I don't deserve
No,
the title
King,
of King of Comedy.
no,
I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp.
King, you're
I think-
great. No,
I
no,
think
don't
I
make
need
me
to go
watch
back
the
and
video.
Watch that instructional video again.
No.
Yes, surely that will help me improve my... Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
No. Oh no. No. Oh.
What? We're back at the phone already? No.
No, not this again.
Here we go.
No.
You ready?
Oh, wait. Do I
When
go
Stanley
through
and the
again?
bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Yeah. Oh, I hate this.
What? We're back
is he
at the
just gonna
phone
repeat it?
already? No. Here we go.
Okay.
You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came
We'll
to a
go
set
left.
of two open doors,
For no
they
reason.
entered the door on the left.
Left.
No. You were supposed
No,
to go through the door on the right, leading
no.
back to the
Stop,
phone.
I'm sorry.
Did you not even look at the instructional video?
I did, but
I think
you
this
don't know
is
what's
all
happening.
covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke
I'm
is
sorry,
completely
I'm sorry.
done and over. It's all
You
your
don't know what was
fault,
going
Stanley.
on.
I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers.
I'm
going to be
sorry.
shamed at every one of our meetings from now on. All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint.
Narrator,
Are you proud of yourself
please.
for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud?
No.
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison. Yes. Well, let me try that again, Stanley.
No. It's the Sunday
I
one with the
heard that you
bucket.
are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No? Still not... Is it the delivery? Pale with shame.
Pale.
with shame.
Pale.
Pale. What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so metal.
Okay, I like that one.
No.
No, I like that
Getting
one.
away from making fun of Stanley's obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm no good at these jokes. I need
I
more
still have the
instructional
bucket.
videos.
Stanley doesn't even have the
That's what it
bucket.
is. That's what will make me the king
No,
of comedy again.
no
More
king.
instructional
No
videos.
king, no more.
See?
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm leaving the bucket here.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No. Okay, we're back to this place now. How do I get over here? Oh. I'm gonna maneuver very carefully.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figure and Marines. Very
Figure
soon,
and
you'll
Marines?
collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second
What a
number, and that will
concept.
be it.
Okay, the
We'll
last
be
one
different
was
people
near
by
the red
then.
and blue doors.
Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figure and Marines.
I'll
None
have
of us
6. All 6 of them. How do I... Oh.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten
What?
path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off.
Is the narrator not
You
real?
didn't think I was actually just a recorder.
Oh my
did you?
god.
What a silly and trite explanation that
Oh,
would be. All the
Jesus.
back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording.
Okay.
It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory.
Well,
bet
I
each
wonder
and every time
why
you watch a
I
movie
would
where
assume
it turns
that.
out all to be in the
I
main character's
wonder
imagination,
why.
you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure
Yeah, I
shock
start
at the
yelling and
phenomenal
clapping.
intricate storytelling. It must be so
Take the
simple to be you.
phones.
Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do.
Shut your face.
Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your
You can't
fault.
just berate me and then go, oh, it's your fault. What?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I have no idea what it
Stanley
could mean.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Here we go. Stanley
When
walks through the
Stanley
left
came
door.
to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
It's
The
beautiful.
lounge was
It's beautiful.
sublime,
It's
a
beautiful.
work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot
Did
here.
we?
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Sure.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Yes. Cool.
And there it is. The last Stiggly Wiggly.
Stiggly
Savor this moment,
Wiggly.
Stanley. This is a real accomplishment.
6
this
out of
is doing
6.
something just for the
Woo!
sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded
No
for the most
rewards,
trivial
nothing.
achievements,
I
you've
just have these little
insisted
guys
that
now.
a job well done is its own reward.
Yeah, huh?
I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that.
No, we can't.
So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Perfect.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley?
Yeah.
I wanted to stop.
Yeah?
We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think, I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Okay.
What do we want? What are we looking for?
I don't know.
Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it?
Where
if
am
we just
I?
stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
What happened? What am I looking at? Whoa. This is strange. I feel like I'm watching one of those baby sensory videos with like the jumping fruit. That looks like the black hole picture. Oh, it's green now.
No, wait. Where are you going?
We can't be in there forever.
Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
We can't just stay there forever.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
I'm sorry. There's nothing here.
Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
Oh my God. Well. We'll go back in the room for a second. It was a good room.
Good, good. We can't be too safe. Promise me you won't go back there. Just stay here.
We can't stay here forever. The only way out isn't, pleasant. But what else can I do?
No. What do we talk about? You're risking everything we achieved here.
What have we achieved?
You heard me before, didn't you? You will die. What about this isn't getting through to you?
There's no other way to It's either we're trapped in the hallways or we're trapped here. I'm sorry.
No! Oh, thank God you lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room? There. See? This is what you want.
This is
is
what
where
you
we can
want.
both be happy. We really can. If we stop moving, we just have to stop moving.
What do you mean stop moving? We can't continue a story if we just stay in one
Stanley,
place.
go back. There's nothing good that can come from this. No. No, no, what are you doing? Do you just not believe me? What can I say to convince you?
We can't stay here. I'm sorry, narrator.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
We can't. We can't just stay here.
My God, Is this really how much you dislike my game?
No.
That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation
you're
correctly?
not. We'll go back to the room one more time. And what is this? Why is there a picture? Who's that?
Yes. Perhaps you can. Perhaps you finally see what I'm talking about.
It's a damn good room. But we
I know
can't
you'll
stay
see.
here.
You'll see that we can't be happy if we leave this place. You can see that, can't you?
Narrator, please. We can't stay here. This is my last time in this room. I'm sorry.
No, perhaps not.
I'm sorry. It has to be like this. We can't just stay here forever. This isn't a game anymore. This is not to spite him. It's to free us both.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask.
I do want to get
It looks like you
along.
wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
I'm sorry. We can't stay here.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Huh. How do we break it? Because that wasn't breaking. I was just getting stuck somewhere. It was a dead end. How do I break it? Wah! What
Stanley,
the hell is
I'm
happening?
sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines, those figglets. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life?
No, I just
Didn't
threw
it
myself
fill
off
you
a
to the brim
staircase
with
like
inner
7
richness?
times, so...
Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone?
Sure,
I
I'll
would
go into
love
your
nothing
cathedral.
more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Now remembering when Stanley found the collectibles. Okay. Oh yeah, that's inviting. Oh.
Here's where it all
The
began.
wall of
The first
dead
collectible.
people.
Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley. And here was a
not there
second
anymore.
Stanlerine. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the boss's bathroom. You did that, Stanley.
Thank you,
I'll be
narrator.
honest. Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone
Well.
6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
Thanks. Shoot. It's under the
Okay,
stairs.
let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini stand? Can you remember?
It's under the stairs.
No. Under the stairs was the 4th place you found a
What?
Fig-Anley, not the 3rd.
Was
Well, I
it?
guess perhaps I shouldn't be surprised. Memories like these are so precious and so cherished that they all just sort of blend together, don't they? You know what? If under the stairs feels like the 3rd place you found a collectible,
One.
then who am I to go
Okay,
making
sure.
judgments?
Oh. Okay.
Let's see. What came next?
I don't recognize this
Oh,
room.
yes, we found a Figley in this pink room.
No, we didn't.
Oh, well,
Why is there
I
an
can't
apple?
actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
Your memories are being tampered with. I'll grab it. The music here is unnerving.
This was the 5th mini stand, and this one was really something special. It was in the warehouse. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion.
Wait,
Enjoy.
you made a video? What's that back there? This looks like one of those lyric videos that are from like 9 years ago on YouTube. Wow. We did it! You found it near the cargo lift. Wow! Thanks for watching! Best boy, the narrator. It's true, kind of.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't
8
have spent
minutes.
on anything else.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna be very careful as to not die. Huh. Okay. Oh, the doors, they're very...
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last
Desaturated.
collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my
It
mind.
just
Perhaps
happened.
because it was the one that happened
Yeah.
more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected.
Yeah.
It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
Wait. Wow. You are in the present.
And then there was no more. Because
Oh,
we've caught
boy.
up to the present moment.
What's a
Nothing
fern?
left to do but move
It's me.
onward into the future. Goodbye, memory zone.
Oh.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines?
No.
Let's just go backwards.
No.
We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Okay, leaving the present.
Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I remember
Yeah,
this.
no.
I must say,
crap.
of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most
You just
distinct
said
and
that.
clear in my mind.
You just said
Let's keep
that.
going. I want more.
This is becoming obsessive. I have so many of these little figurines now.
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
Yes, I do. Okay. Whoa, speed running. Yeah, clap. Woo! Thanks for watching. Woo!
Yes, I love that video.
Wow. Okay. Back to the weird pink room.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
Solid room. Weird that there's just a giant apple statue, but sure.
These
Under the
really were a treat to hunt
stairs.
down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one. This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going.
To move forward.
This is it, the very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
There is no more.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then. But time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more. More memories.
Okay, sure. What?
Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic
Yeah,
memory, this one.
we've done this many times. Does it even matter? No. It's my office.
And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office?
Nope.
There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember.
Can you?
Yes, I'm remembering something now.
What?
I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy. And I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me.
We're his OC?
Make the decision.
We're his OC?
Decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I
We're
had
his imaginary
companionship.
friend?
And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even
Did?
if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old.
Is he
I want
going
think
to
for myself
dispose
again.
of Stanley?
I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it.
No,
I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory?
Okay,
Let's
sure.
go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay. Well, for the final run, that will be next episode's problem. Hopefully Stanley won't die. Well, if you liked it, like the video and subscribe if you wanna, and bye!